Hello, everyone. We'll be switching now to poetry for our next session of the Latin Reading Room. And poetry, of course, is written in meter. We haven't studied meter yet, so I thought I'd post a few lectures to get you up to speed on a very common meter in Catullus's poetry called the Hendecasyllabic meter. We'll start at the beginning and go slowly. Hendecasyllabic is from a couple of Greek words which mean 11 syllables. And you can see laid out here on the table across the top, 1 through 11, 11 syllables. And let me tell you what these conventions are, these longs and short marks here. Latin poetry is based on the length that a syllable will be held, not the stress. English poetry tends to be stress-based, where you have your accent on the word, and then the meter is built around that. But Latin poetry is longs and shorts, long syllables and short syllables. And the way I think about it going in is that a long syllable is going to be held like a quarter note, and then a short would be an eighth note. And that's just to get you started. Okay, so we're looking at, if you know music, quarter, 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 eighth, quarter, eighth, quarter, eighth, quarter, quarter. So the basic rhythm of a line of hendecasyllabic meter would be D, da, D, da, da, D, da, D, da, D, da. Let's do that again. D, da, D, da, da, D, da, D, da, D, da. Again. D, ba, D, da, da, D, da, D, da, D, da. And I'm putting a little stress in there. I probably shouldn't, but, we're just getting started. I think probably I'll have to put up maybe 5 or 6 lectures to lay out all the foundations for you. We'll go slowly. Okay, so B, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. Try that about 100 times, all right? Put me on pause and go B, ba, dee, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da, 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 dee, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. Even put yourself on a metronome if you have to, B, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. Hendecasyllabic. That's the basic setup of the meter. Now, there are going to be some variations which we'll need to study in detail because they're a little hard to get. But I want you to start with this right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I shouldn't have done that. That's hard. 1, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. And what makes this poetry work this line work really nicely is this little chunk right here. Ba, da, dee. B, da, da, dee. B, da, da, dee. There's a name given for this. It's a choriamb. It starts with this. Bo, dee, dee, da. Da, dee, dee, da. Dee, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, da, da. Okay? So that's the basic setup. Let's go on and do, we're going to forget about Latin for right now. We're just going to go on and put this to English poetry. I found this on a website produced by Princeton University. Thank you very much. This is an example of hendecasyllabic meter in English. So let's see how this works. We're gonna follow the basic pattern that we saw before. Dee da dee da da dee da dee da dee da. Okay, so let's start. O you chorus of indolent reviewers. Okay, again. O you chorus of indolent reviewers. There it is. Oh, I like this line because it applies to people who might see this on YouTube and say, Grote, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. You're an indolent reviewer. Oh, you chorus of indolent reviewers. Try another one. Irresponsible, indolent reviewers. irresponsible, indolent reviewers. Now, if you're one of those indolent reviewers out there and saying, you're not going to do this forever. No, what I'm doing right now is just setting up the structure, the skeleton, so to speak, of the rhythmic pattern. Now, we're going to want to modify that. Nobody wants to hear poetry like that. Irresponsible, indolent reviewers. No, that's not the final product. Next line. Look, I come to the test a tiny poem. Look, I come to the test a tiny poem. Next line. All composed in a meter of Catullus. All composed in a meter of Catullus. Fantastic. Let's do it again. O you chorus of indolent reviewers, irresponsible, indolent reviewers, look, I come to the test a tiny poem, all composed in a meter of Catullus. I love this. It's fantastic. Okay, a lot of fun. Okay, now, after you've done that about 1,000 times, and you've got the basic, there must be some kind of an architectural term for this, substructure or whatever, of the meter straightened out, you don't want that to be your final product. You want to move away from that. And this is what I do. And I'm not advocating anything. I'm not a poet. I'm not a professional poetry reciter. I just know what works for me. So we've got the basic structure, right? O, you, chorus of indolent reviewers. Yeah, but that nobody wants to listen to that. Instead, I try to move it away into the more natural rhythms of ordinary speech while still retaining just a trace of the meter and the beat and the pulse. So instead of that, I would do this. Something like this. O you chorus of indolent reviewers. O you chorus of indolent reviewers. So you can still feel the meter underneath it, but it's not so pronounced that it's artificial. You know, I don't have the words to describe what I like here, but that's what I do. I guess in music it's called rubato, which comes from the Italian, which comes from the Latin, which means to steal. So you're stealing some of the time of one syllable and adding it to another. O you chorus of indolent reviewers. Next line. Not irresponsible, it's like irresponsible indolent reviewers. Look, I come to the test a tiny poem all composed in a meter of Catullus. O you chorus of indolent reviewers, irresponsible indolent reviewers, look, I come to the test a tiny poem all composed in a meter of Catullus. Yeah? What do you think? Now, there is a long poem written in Hendecasyllabic meter by Swinburne. And what you could do is practice with this. You know, to go through it, assess it. First, really basically with its structure really pronounced, and then try softening it up. So, in the month of the long decline of roses, I beholding the summer dead before me, set my face to the sea and journeyed silent, gazing eagerly where above the sea mark flame as, okay? So do that about 100 times. And don't get too comfortable with this, because some of what I did was wrong. And we're going to use this as our set piece to add some refinements to it. But what I really want in your heart of hearts is a really strong feel for that D, da, D, and then the choriamb, D, da, D, da, da, D, da, D, da, D, da. Okay? So I will post, I guess, on the YouTube site this, and again, this is a poem that I got from that Princeton site, and thank you very much, you guys up there at Princeton. And I'll post this, and you can print it out and work on it on your own. Okay, so then in the next lecture, we'll talk about this little scrap of poetry, and then I'll show you where some of the refinements need to be made. There you go. So you're on your own for a little while.